morning and welcome to Morning Coach Today. I am so glad you're with us. Hey, it's JB. Super pumped you're here. It's a Monday. We are ready to go. June 26, 2023, episode 5008. We're going to rock and roll a little bit, talk some things that are going to help you adjust your value and really start to create some more life experience for you and just to help you live your best life. Excited. By the way, we moved our group coaching to today, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Mentioned it last week in case you're just hearing this. Last week, my episode 5000, my birthday, it was crazy. And this is actually episode 5008. And so I moved it. I just was tired. I was wore out emotionally and just needed a break. And I took a few days there, and I appreciate you for understanding that. But with that being said, what's cool is today we're meeting at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the meetup room. So hopefully you'll be able to join us there. Big week this week with topic basis. By the way, we're launching today. We're starting to put Morning Coach 5.0 out. It's going to be open for a couple weeks, and we'll be able to bring some new people in. We're going slow with it. It's not a huge launch, but it is something that we're putting out there to allow some new people to join with some adjusted things that are happening, as you will see if you go over to morningcoach.com and see how we're launching that. Click the button, you can go to the page and check it out. Excited about that. And you got any friends or family that's been thinking about joining, we haven't obviously opened up in a year. This is a good time to send them to morningcoach.com because I've got some really huge bonuses that I'm doing for people that are joining brand new. So excited about that, and also excited about our week this week because we're talking about being the expert again and really creating that freedom that comes with that. And even at work, like increasing your value. As Jurgen said, Jurgen did a testimonial. Thank you, Jurgen. He said he really adjusted his value. He understood it a little bit different by coming to Morning Coach. And that's important for me to teach that is a different way to approach life instead of dollars for hours and really look at increasing value. We're going to talk about that today a lot. Tomorrow, we're going to finish our book study, which is The Business of Expertise, How Entrepreneur Experts Convert Insights into Impact and Wealth. I love that, and I would suggest you going back and reading that book again. That's one of the things that I'm doing. I'm finishing the book and then going to go back and read it again and then read the second book of his again as we move into July and we check things. And I'll go over that in a minute because there are some things I'm working on and I want to share with you. Wednesday, what are the steps to defining that expertise? We'll talk a little bit about that on Wednesday. Thursday, Ask JB. This is a big one. I was talking to Roxanne earlier in the week, and we were talking about this last week about where you spending your time and money. And that can be like Instagram. It could also be all the subscription services and things that you have. You know, I've got Paramount and Peacock and all these different services, and I'm looking at all this stuff, and I'm clearing a lot of that up. We'll talk about that Thursday, and sometimes you just got to kind of step back and make some changes in those areas and really clear things up. And I think coming into July, this is going to work out really good because then Friday is, does the market value you? We're back to expertise. But then when we come into Saturday and Sunday, we are launching into July, and we've got expert systems and then having faith in your knowledge, which are great, but also July is a check month, and it's a big check month. You know, as our system, we always talk about, plan, do, check, act. December is the plan, and yeah, you can join. People are joining now. They'll be working on their plan, which is great. But for those of us that already have a plan, this is a really critical time. We're middle of the year. Are we getting where we need to go? Are the goals being set? And also, is it time to clean up some of that stuff? I'm unsubscribing to emails and, looking at social media and going, which social media do I want to play in? What do I not want to play in? And really adjusting and making some changes accordingly. So that's something that you can look at too as we get into that. And we'll talk about that Thursday. And of course, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we're rocking with the end of the expertise. And then moving into July, which is going to be a phenomenal month. We've got some great things planned for you. So want to talk about that, and I think it's important as we end this month and we really got into expertise in ILD, is that the expert is important, right? And establishing your expertise in any field is really critical because what it does is it moves you forward in whatever it is that you do, even socially. Like becoming a better golfer is moving me forward in that field, moving me forward with my friends. Now, I will tell you, I haven't been golfing very good. Okay, and sometimes in life, that's what happens. You kind of have a trend that doesn't work well, and my handicap is actually, I'm at a 14, which is the highest I've been probably in years. And that's okay because I haven't been playing, and I've been highly distracted. We've got our launch and things going on, and I understand that. But it doesn't take away from the fact that I have knowledge in that area, can speak the language, and can connect with other people. So everything from baking to photography, there's so many things that you can establish expertise in. And I've looked at my life over the past year, and that's what I'm looking at as we come into July to check and go, okay, where do I really want to focus on? What are the things that I really want to do as I clear the air and clear the dance floor, right? Clear the dance floor of these things that could be distracting me, whether it's Instagram and just sitting on there and or TikTok or whatever it is, clearing it and going, okay, is this really serving me? And how am I going to build my expertise? How am I going to establish that? And we're going to talk about that this week. And obviously, we're going to talk about that again and again and again because it's the key component in ILD. And I always mention this, because people say, JB, you always talk about entrepreneurship. And yes, I do. I love entrepreneurship. But value and expertise transcends everything. It transcends all relationships that you have, even socially, even in your community. Because when you bring expertise, people look for it and they ask you and they're looking for help in certain areas. So one of the things we have to do, and Wednesday we're going to get into this in depth, and I can't wait to go over it on Wednesday to start, I'm going to give you 11 tips to establish your expertise, but I want to talk a little bit about some of the basics, okay? And again, going over the basics again and again is probably the most important things that you can do to learn. Repetition is the key to learning, and so when you hear it, you never know when it's going to click. I've had people with me 18 years that, it took 18 years and then it clicked. And it's like, oh, I get everything that you were saying, and now everything's starting to work. Hopefully it doesn't happen. That doesn't happen for most people, right? Hopefully I'm getting better enough at the messaging that we're getting things that click quicker. But sometimes you need to hear it over and over again. And one of those things that you need to hear is we have to understand problems. And that's what we got to do. We got to seek out solutions to problems. And the people that are great problem solvers are the ones that build expertise and create massive value. Again, even at work, this is the same thing. Whether you're an entrepreneur and you're out there in the marketplace establishing a business to provide solutions to problems, that's where revenue will be created. Or if you're at work and you're solving more problems, hopefully the organization is going to move you up. If they don't, then you need to find a different organization because somebody will value. And the basic business definition at the bottom line, non-MBA needed here, is that you need to find a need and fill it. That's all business is you're finding a need. There's a need in the marketplace and you're filling it. Same thing at work. You're doing something that is needed, right? And so that's what we're looking for, is to really look at how can I find needs and fill them. And then, of course, with the ILD lifestyle is, can we build it residually? Can we use systems in order to convey the knowledge? Can we use systems in order so we don't have to work so hard, right? Even at work, this is the same thing. I have negotiated with a lot of my clients who are coaching clients at jobs to get days off because they wanted less work time and they wanted more family time. And the idea or the core concept was to show the value, to show the things they were doing, to experiment with the time off and show that they would actually create more value by freeing up their mind and allowing them to do that. So ILD transcends everything. It's not just about, business owners. Even though I love working with entrepreneurs and busy professionals, that's truly who it's for. Busy professionals, people like you, like us, that are really doing things, right? So the basic definition is find a need and fill it. And that's what we've got to constantly be doing. So one of the things we have to do is build your plan. So I mentioned that we're coming into a very important time, July. I know a lot of people are getting ready to celebrate the 4th. I'm here in Indiana. People are all in this real good mood because the sun's out. It's sunny. It's nice. It's not like Florida where the sun's out all the time, so people are in this mood. They're in vacation mode. And I got to be very cautious of falling into that, even because I'm in vacation mode every day. But I got to watch from, taking away from the value that I can create in the world and kind of stepping back and just hanging out. There are days just to hang out, right? There are days to do that, but there are other days that you need to work in order to not only generate revenue, but create fulfillment. And I think that's just as critical. If you're not creating the fulfillment in your life, then you will find something else to have it come in, whether it's alcohol, drugs, or whatever. And now all of a sudden, because you're not feeling fulfilled, and that fulfillment is psychologically just as important as the financial aspects of that. So we need to build our plan, and that's our get it done now, the check, act plan. That's so important. And right now, basically what we're doing is looking at the overall plan and going, okay, I had my mission to start the year. Am I on it? And if I am, what changes do I need to make? And if financially I'm not there, what do I need to shift? And I'm going through the exact same thing. And like I said, we'll talk about this Thursday, but I'm starting to clear some things out. Have I spent way too much time on Facebook or Twitter or on any of those social media platforms? How about my subscriptions that have been adding up over and over? And I'm not even watching Peacock. I just watched Tombstone, and now, or not Tombstone, I can't remember the series. Oh, Gold, what was it? I can't remember the series, but one of those Western series I watched a few months ago, but I never canceled the subscription. Next thing you know, you have that, you have your email, you have all these things start adding up, and it kind of gets out of control. So it's just looking at all of that and going, okay, where are we at? And starting July fresh and using the month of July to really give us that mid-year break of understanding where we're at and start building our expertise and start looking at our overall plan and moving forward with it. That's why the launch, which is not a great time to launch something, it just isn't, it's 4th of July, but it's a great time because people can kind of jump in right now and catch mid-year. And mid-year is a great time to make adjustments, okay? Then once we start building the plan, and we're going to talk about this Wednesday again, but we got to grow the belief and start really working on the strengths that you have. The key is to really believe in your expertise. Many people don't. They feel they have the expertise, but they don't believe in it. And I've seen this happen with many people because they have this imposter syndrome. Now, we spend a whole coach cast on this imposter syndrome, and we're working on cataloging those thanks to a group of volunteers here. But the imposter syndrome is something that is a problem that we all face. And that's like, I'm going to get found out. Maybe I'm not the expert I think I am. But remember, an expert doesn't have to be the black belt. Okay, as we talk about like with our system, you don't have to be the black belt to help somebody understand something. We've got Roxanne, talking about Roxanne is a Kolbe expert, right? So Roxanne jumps in and says, hey, what's going on with your Kolbe? And you can utilize those ideas to kind of build your systems. So me knowing I'm a fast start without the structure of the follow-up, not that I don't follow up, but that's not what I enjoy, structuring things appropriately really helped me. And that what really makes a difference. So, growing your belief and having that strength is so critical as you move forward in the marketplace because you will, especially anybody that's here at Morning Coach, more than likely feel some imposter syndrome. So as you go out there and let's say you're at work and you're looking to expand your expertise and you want to go tell people about it, you kind of step back. It's kind of like speaking a new language. If you've ever tried to learn a new language and you go to the country and you go to speak it and you've been studying it for 2 years, there's a scariness to it because you don't really know it, but you know it, and you're scared to talk about it. You're scared to try it because you don't want the rejection. You don't want to feel like an imposter. But the only way you're going to overcome that is by doing it, okay, and by getting out there and doing it. So that's why we got to grow our belief. And again, we're focusing on solving problems. So we're gaining our knowledge. We're gaining our knowledge so that we can go solve problems. We're continually learning. We're finding out new things. We're taking new pathways. And I'm really good at this. This is one of the things I do. And I'll move on from something, too, very rapidly so I can go learn something else. And I'm big into kind of the gray area, the metaphysical stuff right now. I'm learning moon cycles. I'm having fun with that. Tarot, I told you that before. That's just an area I'm having fun with. It's something psychological, and I'm finding enjoyment in it. But it's also an expertise area that actually it can serve a certain group of people that are looking for more of a metaphysical component in their life. And it's really awesome. I'm having fun with it. And that's part of it. My 7th point here is to have fun. So as you go out there and solve problems, have fun doing it. So why do I like tarot and some of the moon cycles, some of the stuff I'm studying? Because it adds a layer of mental ideas and thought and creativity to certain individuals. There's certain individuals that need that structure that says, okay, I'm going to look at something a little bit different that gets my mind working. And again, everything I do is to solve problems mentally for people so that they can get stronger to be able to do the things they want to do. And of course, we are, my final point here is to continue to learn. We want to continue to add knowledge, continue to add our expertise. And I would go back to our book again and again. We're going to go through it tomorrow. We're going to kind of finish it and go through some of the points of it, but I can only capture so much. And this expertise idea, being the expert and learning more and continually growing, it only serves you because nobody can take that away. And you just keep getting better and better and better. And as you continue to grow within the framework, you're going to get better in the systems. And then you can expand into other areas. And that's a really awesome way to live. And all of a sudden you see that you are rising to the top of your industry. I think of Jacob and statistics and what he's doing in the sports world. If you continue to learn and continue to do it, you'll rise above everybody else. But you got to be dedicated and you got to put the time in and have the patience to do it and build that expertise. And then it starts to pay off. It's a lot of fun. And then you're known as that. And that's what's crazy. We'll talk about that Wednesday. All of a sudden you get known. It's like, wow, I wasn't known as this. Now people are calling me. And that's when it's a lot of fun. Okay, so let's get out there. Have a great Monday. It's off to a great start. We are open. Okay, early bird. Got some amazing bonuses, some private coaching with me, some retreat tickets. Some really cool stuff. So if you've got somebody that's been thinking about getting involved, this is a time to get them over to morningcoach.com. We got a couple weeks, and we're going to close it down. Soft launch, bringing in some really cool people, but going real slow with it. So if you got somebody that's really needs the energy, get them over to morningcoach.com, and let's get them started. All right, I'll see you tomorrow right here as we get back into our book. Let's keep going, and I'll talk to you tomorrow right here to get your morning started on morningcoach.com.